I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Good morning, Walled Lake Western, and welcome back to our first episode of the Western Report. We will be bringing your morning announcements as well as special interviews or highlights surrounding Western activities. Our first guest is Mr. Hamka. One of our crew members, Sydney Anderson, had the chance to interview him. Let's see what he has to say about his educational background.
Well, it all began in high school. I was inspired by a couple social studies teachers. My father basically said, "You will learn this business because you're hanging out with the wrong crowd." So instead of hanging out with my friends and all, I learned the business, and I enjoyed it. But teaching was always something that I was interested in. I taught for 6 years. It was a fun 6 years. It was amazing. Actually, it was 6 years, 1 month and a half, if I'm going to be exact. A few years later, I became an assistant principal at Seaholm High School in Birmingham. I did that for about 5 years. I enjoyed it. I learned a lot, and then I got the opportunity to be here.
You mentioned you were an assistant principal before becoming a principal. How does being a principal differ from being an assistant principal?
Good question. I must say they are fundamentally different. They are different, and I want to share why.
Okay.
But before, as an assistant principal, you may think it's just a step up, right? Mm-hmm. And that was my perception initially, right? You think they both say principal, right? But you realize the difference is, as a principal, you are responsible for the entire building. Everything is your responsibility. Yeah. Every student, every staff member, right? Every parent that comes through, every family is your responsibility. Yeah. Athletic issues, health issues, safety issues, discipline, you name it. It's your responsibility, right? Now. So the entire building is my responsibility. As an assistant principal, your responsibilities are more defined. So you have control over maybe a grade level or an alpha order or something like that. So you have less responsibilities, more defined, and a little more managerial. As a principal, you are an instructional leader. You're responsible for the teaching and learning as well as everything else.
Let's see what you said your plans and goals are for Western.
So what are your plans or goals for Western?
I would say, first and foremost, the importance of ensuring that every student feels like they can be themselves here. We have a very diverse community. I think it's important that we focus on allowing students to have a voice.
What are 2 steps you're going to take to ensure that every student's voice is heard here?
Well, I believe it initially has started. It has started with me being intentional and being personal with people. Yeah. So you'll notice that I'm almost at every game. You'll notice that I'm in the hallways during almost every passing time. Yeah. I'm in the lunchroom. I'm everywhere. I'm literally everywhere, and I try to spend very little time in my office because it's about relationships. So the foundational point, one of the steps, is building relationships and ensuring that people feel comfortable with me being around. The second step would be is to invite some students. And I say students, I mean a variety of students, diverse students with diverse backgrounds, all together in a room, and we'll have a conversation. We call it a courageous conversation. In this case, it's going to be about diversity, and that is the focus that I intend to do. Have a meeting and then discuss points and perspectives at that time.
When are you going to start doing that?
I would say in the next few weeks. Next few weeks, I'll start inviting some people. It'll start off small, and we'll get it. We'll get it so it's large enough where there's equity and access with all voices.
Cool. Thank you so much for being on our show. Let's go to the next segment, Advice from Alex, or short A for A.
Hello, and welcome to my segment, Advice from Alex. I'm Alex, but you already knew that. Anyways, this is the part of the show where me and Porky here give our advice to you. We give our 2 cents on your guys' issues. That's 2 pennies, in case you didn't know. Anyways, if you want to submit a letter to me for me to read on the news, just drop it by F105, or if you see me in the hallway, you can give me a sticky note with a question on it, and we'll put it inside of Porky here. And then I'll answer the questions. Let's see, this will be the first one. And this one is blank. This is exactly why we need questions, people. I need you guys. Anyways, this question, what was your favorite part of BAM? BAM, if you don't know, was my show last year, and my favorite part was just fooling around and having fun, just messing up and doing whatever and just living life, living the dream. So anyways, you can send me letters, comments, anything you want to know and ask me, and I'll give my advice or I'll comment, whatever you want to know. Anyways, this next question comes from Barry B. Benson. When did you first watch the Bee Movie? Well, I was about, 6 or 7, and my mom took me to the theater with my cousins. And it was great. So, Bee Movie, definitely recommend it. 12 out of 10. Anyways, that's my segment. If you want to get a chance to have your letter on here, I can even shout you out if you put your name on it. So just give me letters, please. I'll see you guys around. Have a great day, Western.
Are you interested in lively conversation and discussing today's culture? Join Women's Empowerment. The first meeting is after school today in Miss Knapp's room from 2:30 to 3:30. Everybody's welcome. Thank you so much for tuning in. We hope to see you next Monday. Have a great day, Western.